Okay. Yeah, nice. Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Okay. Just want to make sure that my audio is working.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay. Thank you for joining. People are not here yet. Okay.
Yeah, we have to wait for.
Wait, why am I hearing myself? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's going on? Yeah, so like I was saying, I'm going to wait for people to join because since this is a Zoom meeting, it's better if we have people.
Okay, all right, no problem.
How are you doing though?
I'm good. You?
I'm fine. Where are you joining from?
From Ghana,
Are you serious? What part of Ghana?
Accra.
Like the capital, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's nice. I've never been to any other African country, and I'm really hoping that one day I would love to visit Ghana, Kenya, Rwanda, and what's the other one I was thinking of? I don't know, but as long as we are one day, I would love to visit.
We'd love to have you here too.
Really love to. Okay. I was telling someone I've never been to any African country. They were like, really? I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from Nigeria, right?
yes, yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
I never like went any other country until I came to the US. Like traveling within Nigeria, I traveled abroad. I never left the country.
Oh, okay.
Why are people not joining? People of God, right? We can start. I've been busy. I just got back from the.
Or maybe since you changed the time, maybe they've not really, seen the information that maybe you changed the time and all of that.
Yes, I'm actually watching on YouTube right now.
Okay, you're live there.
Yes, so I'll prefer. So guys, if you can hear me, I'll prefer you guys join on Zoom, so you guys have the opportunity to talk. So excuse me. So you guys will have the opportunity to talk. That's really the essence of today's Zoom meeting. I want to be able to talk to people. You know, it's different when you're typing questions compared to when you're actually like talking about it. So I really want people to have the opportunity to ask their question or discuss whatever you guys want us to discuss. So if you would prefer, please just join on Zoom. The Zoom link is on my community page. Or is there a way I can show? Let me copy it and maybe show it on the screen so people will just join. Let's see. Yeah, so I didn't know I was going to spend so much time in the lab. So when I realized that I could not make the Zoom time, and it wouldn't be nice to cancel it since I already know people plan to be here. So I just had to reschedule. Yeah, that's what happens when you're a student. You plan and research will tell you otherwise. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, just showing the Zoom ID. All you have to do is just go on your Zoom, click on this. Just go on Zoom. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube or watching anywhere, just go on Zoom, type in this particular number, and you'll be able to join us on Zoom. Please, guys, join so we can start. Please, please, please. I'm surprised people are not here. By this time, it's already 10 minutes. Those of you watching on YouTube, unless you don't have access to Zoom, if you have access to Zoom, please use the number showing on the screen as the Zoom ID and just log in so we can start. One of the reasons why I would love people to join before we start is I don't want, if we answer one question, when we are done discussing it, somebody else will come with the same kind of question, and then we'll spend time talking about other things. We'll spend time talking about the same thing instead of moving to other things. That's just what I'm
Let's wait for them to join. Yeah.
I'm tired. Let me notify on Instagram. Okay. Thank you for coming, for joining. The person that just joined. We are waiting for others to join before we start. I'm also trying to notify people on Instagram. I think someone sent me something. Okay, now. Welcome, TMT. Thanks for joining. So if you're watching on YouTube, I see that some of you on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube and you know you have questions to ask, please join on Zoom instead so you can have an opportunity to ask your question. Please join on Zoom. The Zoom ID is what is showing on the screen right now. But if you guys prefer this, we can start. All right. It's already it's already, it's already 11 minutes past our start time. So I'm just going to start with the people we have here. Okay. Hi, TMT. Hi. So you guys should feel free to, I'm going to turn on my video. Feel free to turn on your video if you want. I actually prefer that. So thank you guys for joining today's live video. My name is, oh my God, I look so stressed. My name is Jane, Unik Jane, and this is my YouTube channel where I always share contents about how to get admission to study in the US and to study in different countries, how to go for your visa interview, and how to gain admissions. And once in a while, I share content about my own journey. So a brief introduction about myself. My name is Jane, and I am from Nigeria. I am currently a chemical engineering PhD student in the US, in New York, US. And yeah, what else is there to say? Yeah, that's just about it. So the essence of this meeting today is because I wanted to give people time to ask questions. I noticed that a lot of people usually have questions to ask, but because I'm not always like available to respond on my social media or maybe on my YouTube the way people would want. Like I said before, some of you join, it's easier to have conversation with people face to face and really go back and forth to like solve their problem than just having them type in one comment and you respond. That might not really solve the problem. So I just felt it to be necessary for us to have a Zoom meeting like this where people Who is that? Please mute. Okay. Where people will have the opportunity to ask questions. So without wasting much of our time, I would like us to please start. So if you're here and you have a question you want to ask, if you want to unmute yourself and ask, please go ahead. If you prefer to just type it in the comment section, by all means, go ahead and I will read it and will try to respond to it. So we can start. Who wants to go first? Can you guys hear me? Have I been talking to myself? Okay, yes. So TMT, do you have a question? I'm trying to see what's happening on YouTube at the same time. All right, please go ahead and ask. Please, let's keep it going. All right, okay. I would actually prefer if you can talk. Please, if you can talk, that's actually the essence of this Zoom. I want people to be able to talk and express themselves. If you don't want to, if you're not comfortable showing your face, don't show your video, just talk.
Hello, good evening from my side. This is Sarah Leon, all the way from Freetown. I'd like to serve my is the name.
All the way from where?
Freetown, Sarah Leon.
Oh, nice.
I believe you hardly heard of that country, the way you respond.
I have. I just didn't hear it. Why wouldn't I hear of Sierra Leone?
Okay, going further, I just want to say thanks, and we actually appreciate you for your work, your support, your work towards international students. We are really grateful. However, I'm asking if the college is still hoping for spring 2023.
Colleges open. That's a very so just in case there is anyone watching and you don't understand what the spring semester is. So in the US, the two most common semesters that we have here is fall semester and spring semester. So fall semester starts so some school will start August. Usually the general time to start is like September, and then it will end January. Why spring starts January? So most schools, if their admission is not like on a continuous basis, what I mean continuous is that some schools will allow you to apply for admission any time of the year and you can be admitted. Why most schools, what they do is they admit most students in the fall semester, while they admit some in the spring semester. And let's assume you're going to be admitted to study in the fall semester. You'll be aware of your admission maybe like in January, February, March. So that would give you enough time to prepare yourself, especially if you're like an international student. You have a lot of things. You have to get your visa, medicals or whatever credentials before you can come over. So they give you enough time to prepare yourself. So now going back to your question, I just had to give that background so that people will all be on the same page. So now going back to your question, are there schools still taking people in for spring semester? I would say it depends on the school, right? I would say depends on the school, depends on how the admission process works. If they are really fast on how they do it, because spring semester is literally January, which is 2 months from now. And not just 2 months, it's less than 2 months because 3 weeks from now, schools will be closing. People will go for Christmas break. So I don't know how it's going to work for you to be able to apply now, and within 3 weeks they will process your admission and then get back to you. So your question is, I'm not sure. Do you understand? So you literally have like 3 weeks before the semester will close for this year, and then January spring semester will start. So I don't know how possible it will be for the schools to receive and process your admission and contact you and get everything done before. So I would say it's possible, but it's unlikely. But you can search.
Okay.
That was helpful.
Thank you very much. That really help.
You can still, sure. I usually encourage people to do 4 semesters so that you have enough time to do other things. Because now, if you should apply, let's assume you apply on Monday, you have like 3 weeks to go. How is it possible that you'll be able to get everything ready, get your visa? I don't know how visa processing is in Syria alone, but at least in Nigeria, I know it's not like that easy. So I'm not sure if the time frame is enough for you to do, but it's possible. Anything is possible. But I'm not exactly sure. Yeah. So any other question, guys?
Okay, hi Jane. Good evening.
Good evening. You speaking TMT?
Yeah, sure. My first question is
Mhm.
if I'm to resume by spring resumption, which is January,
Sorry,
and
can you please tell us where you're joining from?
okay, sorry, I'm joining from Lagos, Nigeria.
It's obvious, but continue.
Okay, as I was saying, I'm to resume by spring resumption, which is January, and the problem now is the embassy are saying there's no space.
Yes.
So the first question is, how do we go about it? Number one. Number two, what's the maximum duration a student ought to resume? Like, okay, for example, most schools will resume first Monday of January, which is January 5th. So when would they say you are late? Is it 2 weeks after, 3 weeks after? How long should it be?
Okay, so to your first question, the first thing to do is go ahead and apply and pick. Of course, you see like a far date, maybe like ending of next year. Go ahead and pick a date, and then apply for emergency visa. Emergency interview? Have you tried to do that?
Yeah, sure, I did that. They gave me June next year, and that's too far.
Did you tell them your resumption date when you applied?
Yeah, I'm to resume by January. I gave them that. They said there's no space this year.
Okay. So, but you have a June date.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I'm going to give you is most likely what you wouldn't like to hear, but if that is the case, the only thing I can think of is you have to resume for a semester.
Okay.
Yes. But even that first semester with your June date is also tricky. Number one, it depends on your school, when your school starts their fall semester, or if they have summer semester. So summer semester starts June. School usually close May, middle of May, ending of May. Then June, July, August is summer. So one other way you can do it is if your school does summer classes and because, okay, I'm going to answer this question, but let me answer your second question. So your second question is, what's the latest? No, that's not a question, something else. So normally when you apply for visa, right, let's assume you're supposed to resume school next month or next 2 months. You can only enter the US at most 30 days before your resumption. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
If your school is starting their first semester, let's say in September, and then you get your visa in June, you can't just stand up and travel to the US like 2-3 months before your resumption. It's not allowed. So if you should go for the June interview now and you really want to start immediately, you can check with your school if they take summer classes. They will allow you to do summer classes so that when you get to June, you now go in immediately and then you take summer classes and then before you start. That is the only thing I can think of. And for you to do that, you have to contact your school since the admission they gave you is for spring. And now there is no visa interview. Honestly, I don't think there's, if you've done emergency and you still didn't get, I'm not sure how else you can get it. And unless you want to go to another country, which for someone like Nigeria, possible. So yeah, I think the only, which is sad, what I just told you is like the last night I told people to do, there's nothing else to do. And it's just to contact your school and tell them your situation, if they will allow you defer your admission from spring to fall or summer, depending on what they have available. Yeah, sorry to hear about that though. I know it's been terrible. It's been crazy trying to get interview date. So I think that was helpful. So to your second question, you said what's the latest? So how US system works is, at least for the times that I started, the very first day you start class, they start giving you homework. Do you understand? Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure, I can hear you.
So the very first day of class, they'll give you homework. So if you don't start class immediately, you're already missing out. So it's really, really challenging to not start class immediately school resume. It's not like Nigeria then that I know when school resume this week, we'll resume the next 1 week or the next 2 weeks. Here it's difficult to do that. Although I know a girl here that started late from a different, I think she's from Liberia. She came in late, she had issues, something like visa related also too. So she spoke to her school. I think there was a way they were able to do it. So it happened. She's currently not taking all the classes that she's supposed to take because most of them have already gone far, and the professor said there's no way she can catch up. So what they did, I think the last time I spoke to her, she told me what they make her do is she's now doing like lab, like research, and then there's one other class. You know, there are some classes that they do it, they don't do it in the whole semester. It's like half, maybe they can cover it within half of the semester. I think probably she's doing the type that starts middle of the semester and end towards the end of the semester. So she's taking like one of those classes and then doing lab because her department, they were able to work things out for her like that. So if you can communicate with your program coordinator and see what they can make available to you. Yeah. I think that's what I can say about it. Yeah, it's sad. I've heard a lot about this, and it's not just now. It's always challenging, especially since last 2 years, challenging to get early visa date in Nigeria. I don't know about other countries though. Yeah, TMT, I hope that helped you. I know it's sad, especially if you've prepared your mind that you're studying school January, having to now stay like 6 months or so before you start. That can be painful, but it is what it is though. I hope that helps. TMT. Hello? Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thank you very much.
You want to work? No, they will not succeed. They will not succeed. They can try, but they will not succeed. All right. Thank you for asking. I wish you all the best. Just as long as you've gotten your stuff, don't worry. Don't worry. Just look for, if you're working, just continue doing what you're doing. Before you know it, June will be here. All right, guys. Any other question? Who else? Do you guys have any question? Please let me know. People on YouTube, if you don't want to join on Zoom, you can drop your question on YouTube. I have my other screen showing YouTube here, so I can also respond. All right, Gladys, do you have any question? Hello? Oh, no question. Interesting. So should our questions only be based on school? What other thing would you like to ask? And I said this meeting is supposed to be about visa interview, applying to schools, US, how life is as a student here in the US. You can ask anything. I'm not sure what you mean by should it be only based on school? What else would you like to ask? Go ahead, TMT. Go ahead and ask whatever you want to ask.
Okay, with all this, okay, I have friends, what they say, and with what your videos have been saying, students get assignments constantly, at least every week they get projects, and the project is not like Nigerian institution project I just give you, or assignments that if you like do it or not. But how do you students cope? Like you should, I don't know if you studied Nigeria earlier, the way our system is we can come to school, institution, we can do things, but it's not as the way they say it over there in the US. So now as a student over there, how do you manage this assignment back to back and work on its own and life on its own? Like it's looking more scary and congested.
I'm actually really happy you asked this question, to be honest, because you asking this question means you have an idea of what it's like here in the US. People like me, They did not inform us before we started. We were not informed before we started, right? So when I got here, excuse me, guys, I'm so tired. That's why. Anyways, when I got here, I wasn't informed about the system. I didn't even have a YouTube channel or videos that I watched to know how things are being done. Like, I literally was not informed about the school system when I got here. And then I got here, I realized how crazy it was. It is. I'm going to give you guys an example. I think I talked about this in one of my videos. When I got here, the first semester, I took 4 classes. So I don't know about other countries. Yeah, TMT, you asked, you said you don't know if I schooled in Nigeria. Yes, I schooled in Nigeria. I did my bachelor's in chemical engineering in Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. I lived in Lagos before I came here, so I'm very much aware of Nigerian system. So when I came here, my first semester, I took 4 classes, right? And when I heard 4 classes, I was like, oh, it's not a big deal now. It's just 4. In Nigeria, I used to take 7, 8, 9, 10. I even took 12 in my second year in undergraduate. In my undergrad, I took 12 classes in one semester. So I thought it was not going to be a big deal. I thought it was going to be very easy, right? Because it was just 4 classes. But little did I know that was like the hardest thing I will ever do, at least at that point in my life. That 4 classes felt like I was taking 100 classes. Why? Because I had one class not one class, some of the classes will give you homework every day, every week. And then imagine you have homework to do. And these homeworks are not like just 1-page homework, 2-page. Like, as an engineering student, it's calculation, few pages upon pages of calculation you're doing. So your question is, how do you manage? You will manage. You find a way to do it. It's all about time planning. I have a lot of students here in my school who just started this semester, because we're currently in 4th semester, and they're always complaining, Jane, they are so drained, they are depressed, they are this one, I'm like, it's with time. You manage, you find a way. It's all about time management. For me, then I know how I used to do mine was I plan my days. Okay, I have this homework. I know this homework is due on Wednesday. Another one is due on Thursday. Maybe the other one is due on Monday. So you prioritize them. So you know the ones to do first to be able to meet the deadline. At the same time, you're doing them together, but okay, this one is due on Monday. So I'm going to try to finish up this one before Saturday or before Sunday. And then you focus on the other one. You just find a way. And then when you talk about work, a lot of people work, at least if you are doing a PhD, you will not be working the first semester, at least in my school. I'm not sure about other schools. You will not work the first semester. The first semester, they allow you to focus on coursework. But if you're a master's student, you work the first semester because you are not fully funded most times. So you have to make money. You'll be working on campus. So people just find a way. How they do it is you will not work every day of the week. And then maybe you'll be working night shifts, not like all night you'll be away, maybe from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., 3 hours in a day or 4 hours in a day, whatever will be able to make you enough money to pay your bills. So you pick the days that you'll be working. When you see your timetable, you know how to plan it. So, okay, this day I'll be having classes, I have homework to do, maybe I'll not work that day. The other day I don't have. It's all about planning. That's one thing schooling here will teach you how to plan yourself, to teach you how to be diligent, to teach you how to be focused. So like you also said, in Nigeria, then they give us homework, whether you do it or you don't do it, nobody cares, it's on you. Even here, if whether you do it or you don't do it, nobody cares. But then if you don't do, you're going to fail, because the homework they give you is accumulation of your grades. So every week, the homework is just 5 marks. By the time you count it, how many weeks in the semester, to maybe amount to 30 marks or 40 marks, and then you do exams, maybe 20 marks, everything, you do project, and then you have your 100 marks. So if you decide not to do it, nobody's going to punish you or anything, but then you will not do well. And if you don't do well, if they put you on probation, you might get kicked out of the program. So you have no choice than to do well. You have to find a way. So it's actually not like, one thing I'm not going to tell you guys is, I'm not going to lie and tell you that it is easy. It is not easy, but I know that it is doable. I did it. I mean, I'm not done yet, but when I started, I was able to do it and get A's, A minus, A and stuff like that. So it's difficult, yes, but it's also doable. Especially if you school in Nigeria, I know not everyone here is from Nigeria. We have Sierra Leone, we have Ghana, we have Nigeria. If you school in Nigeria, I'm just using Nigeria as an example because that's where I went to school. If you school in Nigeria, at some point you were used to the hard life. So you come here. So the mistake that most people make that make them not to do well when they come to the US is because they feel like schooling in the US is very easy, that people just come, you're having fun. But I don't think so. What I think makes schooling in the US seem like it is easy is because in the US you have some amenities, some facilities that you don't have where you're coming from. So for instance, when I went to school in ABU Zaria in Nigeria, we only had access to Wi-Fi in certain places. So if you want to browse something, you have to make sure you're in those locations for you to be able to browse. You don't have Wi-Fi in your hostel if you lived on campus. You can't just stay on your bed and do homework. You have to be in a certain type of place. But here in the US, anywhere you are on campus, you have Wi-Fi, right? And then maybe in Nigeria or maybe your country, you don't really have a good laptop to do work. But here in every library you go into, there is computer for you to use and do what you want to do. So things are being provided to make your study life easy. So that's one thing sorry, let me add somebody. That's one thing that people see and think that it is easy. But in terms of the work, the stress of the work, it is not so easy, but it is doable. It is easy if you plan yourself well, you have amenities, you have facilities provided for you, you have good time management. Trust me, you will have an easy time here doing your studies. But if you came with the mindset that, oh, I'm just going to be cruising life, then that's when you find it difficult. I don't know if I feel like I'm blabbing too much, but I really hope that helped. All right, while I'm waiting for people to answer, I have some questions here on YouTube. TMT, please let me know if that answered your question. Okay, somebody's asking for the Zoom link. I'm going to put those on YouTube. Okay, all right, you're welcome. Those on YouTube, I'm going to put up the Zoom link the Zoom ID once again on the screen. So it's currently showing on the screen this number. Just go to Zoom, join Zoom, put in this number. There is no password and you can join. All right, so while we are doing that, I'm going to try to answer some of the questions here on YouTube. Okay, so the first question said, I haven't applied for my interview yet, hoping to do that on Monday. Do I still have time for the spring 2023? I have paid my service fee and I got the receipt. Well, the person sent this message, it depends on your country if you can find available dates. If you were here earlier, someone just asked a question about not being able to find dates. So it depends on the country where you are, if you can find available dates. So just go ahead and apply and see if you can find dates. If you can, then that's awesome. But if you cannot, then we can talk about the next option that you have. I wish you all the best. All right, next person, hi, Danjuma. Those of you watching on YouTube, please, I would love for you guys to join on Zoom so that you can talk. I want to see people's face. I've not seen anybody's face today. I want to hear people talk. I want to hear from you guys. I want to see people's face. All right, I'll ask the next question. Ugochukwu says, hi, Jane. Thanks for all you do. Thank you too. Your videos help me prepare for my interviews. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, next person says, so I applied for my visa interview, which was aimed at resuming for 2022. Oh, it's already passed, but I had to defer my admission because of dates. Yeah. So I went for my interview already and was asked to come back in May. Why? Why would you go for an interview and ask to come back? Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. So if your school you're resuming for is too early to go for a visa interview, I talked about that. The latest you can resume is 30 days within your school resumption. So it's too early for you to come in. All right, so the next question says, so my question is, what do you think I need to do that will likely guarantee my visa? What you need to do is the things I've been saying in my video, is to practice yourself, make sure you have all the necessary documents. Please don't go and use if you need financial documents, don't go and use the same financial documents that you printed now for a visa interview in May. Make sure you print the most recent ones. Go with as many documents that you can have. I usually tell people it's better you go there and you have excess documents than for you to go there and realize you don't have enough. So just go with the right documents, practice what you will say. Practice what you will say. That's what I tell people. Once you practice, you'll be fine. I know I've said these things many times in my videos. Some people want to prepare for visa interview. Maybe they'll watch my video and they will see some of the video I made on questions that you'll be asked, and they'll be like, oh, I can answer this. Oh, it's just simple and I can answer this. I can, without actually practicing it, without actually trying to say it. And if you don't do that in your head, you think, oh, I can do this. You know, what course are you studying? What school are you studying? You think it's easy. When you not get there, the things you will say is not what you'll be able, what they think when you not get there and they ask you the question, you'll not be able to answer well because you didn't practice it. For me, I always support practice. Even at this level of my career now, if I have a presentation, I practice my presentation. And when you're presenting, it makes it easier for you. Somebody said, go and watch the video and you will know what to do that will guarantee your visa. Thank you very much. Exactly. Seriously, guys, please go and watch my videos and practice. Practice. One thing I know is a lot of people have watched, like countless numbers of people, they've watched my videos and they've gotten visa approval. And if you guys have noticed, if you've been on my channel for a long time, you would have noticed that this year I've not really been posting lots of videos. That's because this year took like a different turn and I've been super busy. Excuse me. I've been super busy this year, so I've not really been posting videos as I would have loved to. But the good thing is that the videos that I posted in the past have really helped a lot of people, like a lot of people. I always get messages from people telling me how grateful they are, the admission, their visa interview went well, the admission went well, people in the US, even here in my school here, I'm friends with a few people that were in their countries and they watch my videos and they went for interview and they got their visa approved and they're now in my school year. Like it has happened to me a few times where I'll just be one place, I'll just be walking, I'll just sit in one place, somebody come and meet me. Hi, are you Jane? Are you Jane from YouTube? I used to watch when I was in Liberia. I used to watch when I was in Zambia. I'm like, Jesus is Lord. But the good thing is, it is helping people. That is what I'm grateful. So for you asking what you should do to guarantee, watch my video, not just one. Just go on my channel, look for what was it called now? Should I use the word folder? I've forgotten what they call it, that contains F1 visas videos. Just watch everything. Take note of everything there. Like I try to say in my videos, I'm not an expert, right? I'm not an expert in this thing. All I shared in my videos or all I share in my videos are just based on my experience, things that happened when I went or things that happened with my friends. They just tell me how it went. And that's what I share. And the good one thing I know is if I do something and I make mistake and it doesn't work out well, and then I find out the reason why it did not work out well, it wouldn't be nice of me to allow other people make the same mistakes. So that's why I make my videos so that, okay, this is how I did it and it worked. Let other people also do it and it will work for everybody. So yeah, that's just the reason why I make this video. So Ugochukwu that asked that question, please go watch my videos, watch reasons why visas get denied, watch what to do if you get denied, watch documents to go with, watch what's it called? How to show proof of funding. Just watch everything and you will see that you feel very comfortable to go for your visa. Okay, next question says, I was actually asked to just walk up to any officer with the form I was given. Then you're fine then. That means you don't have any problem. Just do what they ask you to do. All right, guys, I think that is the question. If there's any other question. Somebody just joined. iPhone just joined. iPhone, do you have anything to say? Do you have a question on Zoom? The person that joined, iPhone, do you have any question? Hello, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you.
All right, thank you. So who else? Is there any other question? You guys should talk now. This is supposed to be us chatting, not just me talking. If I wanted to talk about it, I've made video and posted. I want to talk with you guys. I want you guys to tell me what process. Gladys, you've not said anything. Tell us, what process are you in now? Are you preparing for admission or you're preparing for visa? What are you doing? Please talk.
For me, currently, I'm done with my applications. I'm just waiting for my decisions for fall 2023. Yeah.
How many schools?
Oh, so far, I've applied to 4.
Oh,
yeah. 3 in the US,
mm-hmm.
1 in Canada.
Okay. Can
you said?
Can you apply to more?
More. It's not easy. Paying
Why?
application fees.
You can look for free application fee waiver.
Huh?
I don't even expect people to pay so many application fees. I made a video on how to get application fee waiver. Though of course,
Yeah.
Review, but you can look for the school app and apply.
And talking about recommendations, applying to more schools, it's very difficult to get your recommenders to, respond to all these schools that you're applying to. Even the 4 or 5 that you're applying to, they're even complaining, why are you doing more schools? Why are you applying to more schools and all of that? Sometimes it's very hectic when it comes to that aspect.
Yeah, they don't. That's why. Understand because
it's like,
go ahead.
The more you're applying to the schools, the more you're also stressing them out. So
they don't know that the more you apply, the more your chances of getting in.
So let's say, for instance, when I applied to before I started my application for University of Tennessee, Knoxville, that's Masters in Nutrition with a public health nutrition concentration. First of all, I emailed the program coordinator, introduced myself that I'm interested in the program and all of that. So she responded and said, she's happy, I sent an email introducing myself, attaching my CV and my transcript and all of that. But looking at my background in clinical nutrition and dietetics, like I'm eligible for, graduate teaching assistantship. So if I'm interested, I should she would like us to, schedule a Zoom meeting and talk and all of that. So I went ahead and sent her the date. So we had the meeting from there, and after the meeting, she was really impressed and all of that based on the questions she asked me, my background, and what I'm interested in and all of that. So she was happy, and all what she said, she would love to have me, in the program there for the upcoming, fall. So she went further to, introduce me to other faculty members in the department through an email and tagged me as well, that maybe in case they have any research that they want to do for the upcoming fall, they should, contact me for a Zoom meeting and explain further and all of that. And she said in the mail that she's looking forward to my application. So I wanted to know that does this actually, increase my chances of, getting admission and funding? Is there a high chance or possibility that I can actually get admission and funding?
Yes, there is. First of all, she has put you, at least she has made other professors to be aware there is somebody like you. So it does not guarantee you get admission because she might not be the one that will be doing, she might not be in the admission committee, right? Even if she is, she's not the only one that will determine, right? But the good thing about it is that she if you get the admission, there is a better chance that you will get assistantship, because now these professors, when you eventually meet them, it will not be your first time it will not be their first time of hearing about you, or even if they are and they do not look at the email, they not care about what was sent to them, you can be the one to bring them up. Oh, you spoke to this person some time ago, and they recommended you or something like that. That will make them see this is like really serious. I really want to do this. Yeah, so I think the good thing, to be honest, is good. To say this in one of my videos that when I applied, I did not talk to any professor or anything like that. It was really sad, but it's really a good thing that you got to the point, you did what you did, and so they are aware of who you are. So what our advice now is, okay, you've already done your application.
I've already put in the application.
I wanted to say that just make sure you're putting in a really good application. So I hope that what you put in is really good. But once again, really good that you contacted them. It's okay. All the best. I really hope to hear your good news. Please keep please keep me posting message when you get.
All right, I will.
Great with you, and all the best.
Thank you.
All right. So those on YouTube, I've put up the link, the Zoom ID. Please use it to join so you can join us on Zoom. Someone just joined. Bernard, do you have any question or anything you want to share? Hello, Bernard, we can see you, but we can't hear you. Okay. All right. So I'll ask the questions I have on YouTube. Someone said, I do have a question. All right, please ask your question. I do have a question, but you didn't say anything. Another person said, do you see students from Liberia there? Yes, I have one living next to me here. She actually, okay, the question, in case you guys didn't hear, the person said, do you see students from Liberia there? And my answer is yes. I have one. She's even my friend, living a couple of doors away from my apartment. She was actually watching my videos when she was in Liberia. And then she came to my school here, and then she saw me one day and she walked up to me and was like, hi, are you Jane? Yes, I'm Jane. I'm from Liberia. I used to watch you when I was in Liberia. I'm like, are you serious? And now we are friends. Like, she lives close to my house. She can come to me whenever I want, and I can go to her house. So yes, there are people from Liberia. That is one good thing about school in the US. So school in the US, gives you an opportunity to school with people from all over the world. So you'll be in a classroom, you see people from Ghana, from Liberia, from China, from Korea. You see people from Sri Lanka, India. You just see people from all over the world. So that's one, at least for me, one thing I think is interesting about schooling outside of your country is that you get an opportunity to interact with people from different countries. So besides you learning academic things, you also learn how to interact with people that are not like you. Like, for instance, when I started school, in almost all my classes, I was the only Black person. So I'm used to being a place where everybody is Black, everyone looks like me. Now I'm finding myself in a situation where nobody looks like me. I carry this type of hair. People are looking at my hair like it's one strange thing. Like it's one strange thing. But to me, I actually find it interesting because aside learning your school things, your book and your textbooks, you also have an opportunity to learn about people's culture, to learn about, okay, this is how I see things, but someone from China, this is how they see things. Okay, maybe if I say something funny, I'm Nigerian, so if I say something funny, someone from Nigeria will laugh, or maybe someone from India, it will not be funny to them because they don't get the joke. It's actually, for me, I think it's interesting. And I really hope that you guys that are yet to come in, that you get your admission and so you also experience what I'm talking about. All right, somebody raised hand. TMT, please go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. If one has been given admission, and is the chances of the person getting funding later, maybe before the school resumes?
Yes, or even after the school resumes. So, excuse me, if you've given admission and there was no funding, just keep what you should do is contact them and say, hi, it's a so-and-so person. I got this admission, but there's no funding. I would really love to be funded because of this, because of that. Please, can you let me know the available funding opportunities? This is something you can send to your program coordinator, and they will let you know. And you see if it's something you qualify for. Or maybe if there's a professor you were talking to and he says he doesn't have money, before you time to resume comes, he might get money and he will call you, but at least let them know that this is my situation. With that money, I cannot go to this school. I really need funding to be able to go to this school. But if it happens that you still could not get funding until school resume, if it is PhD, I'll tell you to forget about the admission. But if it's for a master's program, right, I will tell you that if you can find money for yourself to resume, then when you come here, you will find a way to pay. Because I know some people that when they apply for their master's, there was no funding, right? So they're able to look for money, their own money to fund themselves that first semester, and they got here. They worked really hard. So because they worked hard, they're able to get assistantship the next semester, or they will get one fellowship or one something the next semester, and they'll use that to fund themselves till they graduate. Or I saw people who have to be doing on-campus job. It depends on your school. If it's a school that is not so expensive, they'll be able to do on-campus job and use that to be paying their school fees till they graduate. So it just all depends on you and the school. There are some schools that if you want to go to, I will tell you not to do it because they're super expensive. Like the school tuition is like $50-something thousand a year. If you know that there's no way you can get that, and if you know there is no way you can pay that for yourself, and you've spoken to the program coordinator and she not tell you that there are any kind of funding that is available at any point, so you can apply for or you qualify for, don't even bother. I'll just say, just relax and apply to other schools. So yeah, it's possible to get funding after, but you just have to keep them informed, be emailing them, be communicating them, put yourself in their eyes, or how do they used to say, let them know about you, that this person, the person have got admission, the person is serious, the person wants to come, but it's money that is keeping them. So that I know a friend of mine that the year I got admission, he also applied. He didn't get any he didn't get any funding. So it was, we even thought he was not going to come. June was close to resumption date that the professor he has been communicating with. TMs, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
So he was close to resumption date, and the professor he was talking with that was willing to work with him, but because there was no funding, the professor contacted him and said I don't know if it's she or he, that they just got funding that period, so he should come. And they sent him all the documents, and that period interview date was not an issue like it is now. When during my own time, getting interview date was, I don't even remember anybody that had to do emergency visa, so it was easy to get your interview date. And immediately, in less than a month or so, the guy did his interview and he came to the US before school resumed. So just make sure you're discussing with them. That's just what I'm saying. Just make sure you're emailing them, you're in contact with them, let them know your situation. But if they don't, then don't just apply to other schools. Don't worry about them. Yeah, so is there any other question before we go? Or is there anything else you guys want me to talk about? Guys, so I can see that some people have actually applied. Let me use the opportunity to ask, is there any kind of video that you guys would like me to make? Like I said, I've not been making lots of videos this year because I've been super busy, but Christmas break is around the corner, so I can use the opportunity to make some videos. Is there any type of videos that you guys are interested in watching that you can't find on my channel? Please let me know. Please type it in the box or you tell me, or if you're watching on YouTube, please tell me. So I think I have a question on YouTube. Excuse me. Somebody said, please, how easy is it to go straight up from BSc to PhD? Were you very particular about applying for PhD after your BSc, or you did so possibly because it offers a full funding? All right, thank you for asking this question. I'm going to, guys, sorry, I'm always yawning, I'm tired. I'm going to answer one after the other. So the first question says, please, how easy is it to go straight up from BSc to PhD? It is very easy because that's what I did. I did not do my master's. I did my undergrad, my BSc, and I applied for PhD. But now I have a master's here. So when I came, I did my master's and then continued my PhD. So it is easy because here in the US, excuse me, unlike other countries, here in the US, you are allowed to apply directly from BSc to PhD. There's no special requirement whether you have a master. You're just allowed to apply directly. So yes, it is very easy. The only thing different is that, like in my school here, I don't know about other schools, so I can't speak for all the schools in the US. In my own school, what they do is if you had a master's before you apply for a PhD, and I don't have a master's, when we come in, then credit units, that's the number of classes that I'm going to take because I don't have a master's, is more than what you are going to take because you have a master's. That's just the difference. So if I'm expected to do 30 credit units of coursework, you might do 18 or maybe 20 or something, but it's lower than me because I don't have a master's background. So, but for applying, everybody apply the same way. It is easy. The next question says, were you very particular about applying for PhD after your BSc? Or you did so possibly because it offers full funding? For me, I've always known that what I want to do is a PhD. I never thought of applying for masters. I never considered it. So right from time I applied for a PhD because that's what I wanted to do. So yeah, I was very particular. I never thought of doing masters since I already found out that I don't need a master's to do a PhD in the US. That can just apply directly. So I never thought, and I never considered funding as a reason to apply because I also told myself that it's a PhD, it takes time. Whether it's a PhD or master's, I don't have the money to fund myself to school in the US. So I'm definitely going to get a scholarship to study. So if I don't get scholarship, then I'm not going. So yeah, I was very particular about applying for PhD. Thank you for asking that question. I hope it helps. Is there any other question for those on Zoom? Bernard, you still don't have any question? You can type it in the chat box if you don't want to talk. All right, those on YouTube, do you guys have any question for me? I asked if there's any type of videos you guys would like me to make, or if there's any personal experience you want me to share, if you want to know how it is, what it is like being a student here, please let me know. All right, Bernard, you raised your hand. Please go ahead and ask your question. You raised your hand, Bernard. Please ask your question.
Dear. Good evening, dear.
Good evening. Please tell us where you're watching from. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, tell us where you're
from. I'm watching from Ghana, precisely Kumasi, Ashanti region. Please, I recently completed my bachelor degree and I want to apply for my master's outside. I recently completed my bachelor degree and I want to apply for master's outside. But one thing is that we are living in a system where strike is always increasing the system. But I have incomplete transcripts from level 100 to 300. Please, can I use that transcript to apply for master's degree? Thank you, please.
Thank you, Bernard. Thank you for asking. And I'm so sorry to hear about the strike thing. So I am originally from Nigeria. So strike is also a very common thing in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, they are currently on strike now, I think. And as a matter of fact, they were on strike the year I was applying. And as another matter of fact, I couldn't get my transcript when I was applying. So Bernard, your situation, sadly, is a common situation to most people from African countries. I pray that God will help Africa one day. So back to your question, how I did mine. I'll answer your question, but I love to give background before I answer. So how I did mine, when I was applying, there was strike. So I couldn't get my transcript. But my own case was different. I was kind of lucky because when I was in school, my department, they used to give us a printout of our results. So you know how, like in Nigeria, most departments, most schools, they will paste your results on the board where they'll just write everybody's name and their grades and their GPA. But in my own department, they used to give us this paper where they write your name, all your classes, and the grades. So what I did to get my admission was I was able to, because I used to keep all those papers. I never like misplaced any of them. That's why it's good to keep your credentials well. I went and I brought out all the credential, all the results that I've gathered for it. I did engineering, which is 5 years, for the 5 years, which is 10 semesters. And I joined all of them together. But I know in the US, they will need a grading system to be able to know, okay, you got this score. What does it mean? What I did was, I know of a student in my school that had an original transcript. So I asked him, please send me the back of your transcript that shows how our school grades. It's not a personalized thing. It's just something they put in behind every transcript. So he sent that to me. I joined it to my printout and I combined it and I sent it in as my transcript. I said, God, there's nothing else I can do. Strike will not be a reason why I would not apply for admission. And that's what I used to send in, and I got what I got. But then before I could come to the US, I had to get the original transcript. And God helped me that before then, the strike was over and I was able to now go to the school and apply for them to send my original transcript to an official transcript to the US. So yeah, the point of this story, Bernard, is for you to know that it's issue that most people or some people have to face if you're from Africa. So now, if you can use a first to third year transcript, I'm not sure how, because I'm assuming you're doing a 4 years program, right? Bernard, is it 4 or 5 years? Hello? Okay, I will assume you're doing.
It's 4 years.
Okay. It's a 4 years program, which means you need just the last year on. So what I would recommend is maybe email the schools that you want to and let them know your situation, that you have a 3 years transcript which shows that you've done these classes, that you are in an accredited university and you've taken these important classes, but then because of the strike, you don't have the final one. But that before resumption, you'll be able to get that because you don't anticipate that the strike will last till that time. So just let them know your situation before you apply. But you can still just take the chance, maybe apply and then attach. Someone like me, I might just apply and then attach a 4th document for the final year, writing something and explaining what is happening and join everything there and take the risk and apply. But if you also want to contact the school and let them know and hear what they will tell you, you can do that. Bernard, did you get what I said?
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. So,
yes, please. Yes, please.
All right.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome. So email the school and let them know your situation and let them know the things that you have, if it's okay to apply. If you get a good response, awesome, go ahead and apply. But if they don't give anything a good response and you still want to take the risk, please go ahead and write it something and then attach it to them and apply. Never can tell what will happen. All the best. Once again, I apologize on behalf of where we come from. Yeah, the strike. All right, thank you guys for the questions. Once again, I'm asking, is there any type of video that you guys would like me to make? Is there any type of content that you guys would like to see so that I know what to make? None? All right, somebody.
Okay, hi, Jane.
Yes, hi.
Can you hear me? Okay. Working inside school. How many hours? I don't know. I learned someone could work over 20 hours inside campus. I don't know how true that is.
It is very true. It is very true. So yeah, once you're a student, you are allowed to work 20 hours a week on campus. So on campus, there are different kinds of jobs you can do. I never got to do this kind of job because I am a PhD student. So your PhD, research is already like work, right? So you work all the time. Like for those that joined earlier, today is Saturday, and I've been in the lab since morning running experiment. That's part of the reason why I moved this Zoom meeting 3 hours. And that's why I'm this tired. So you don't really get to do extra work because you already have your PhD work and you get paid stipend for doing it. So for other students, for undergraduate and master students, yes, you can work on campus. There are different kind of work. You can work in the library, you can work in the cafeteria, you can work in the stores, supermarkets inside campus. You can work in a medical center, you can work as a cashier, you can work as a, not accountant, but somebody that does something, accounting, something. You can work there, like different kinds of jobs that you can work on campus. They make those kind of job available for not for outsiders, for students, because they know students need money to pay fees. So those kind of jobs are being run by students, and they do it in such a way that it's not like a normal full-time job that you expect to come in the morning and close around 5. No, they know you're a student, so they do it in such a way that it's according to shifts. So if when your classes will permit you guys will agree, okay, on Mondays, these are the times I can work. Then the person that does not have class in the morning will say, okay, I'll do morning shift. This person will do afternoon shift. So yeah, you can work. Then aside that, you can also get internship off campus, where during summer or even while school is or in session, you can work, but also you cannot work more than 20 hours. But those are just internships. So the internship are not any kind of internship, any kind of work. Like now I'm a chemical engineer. I can't just stand up and go and get maybe get work in a pharmacy as a cashier and say, I'm working 20 hours a week. They will not approve it. And if they don't approve it, I will not work. So if I want to get an internship, it has to be something. It's called CPT. It has to be is it curriculum practical training. It has to be something that is advancing my degree. It has to be something that is in line with my degree. Okay, as a chemical engineer, there's one energy or engineering company. I want to work with them, so they give me internship there. So whoever is in charge of my documentation, when they see it, of course, they will know, okay, this is in line with what she's learning. So she wants to practicalize what she's learning, they will approve it. So my point is, you can't just go and get any kind of job to make money as a student, no. Yeah, then during summer break, I think you're not allowed to work full time, like 40 hours, because you are summer break, you're not taking any classes. So yes, TNT, you're allowed to work on campus and off campus as internship, not full-time job. You can only work full-time job during summer. All right, guys, thank you for joining. Thank you to those that joined on YouTube. I see all the comments. I see all the likes. Thank you guys for joining. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you've not subscribed. Please share my videos to people that you know they need the kind of content that I share. And also let me know, I've been saying this thing, nobody's saying, let me know if there's any kind of video that you guys want me to make that I've not made. Because I have videos to make, but aside those kind of videos, I just want to make sure that I'm making the kind of videos that you guys want to watch. So I'm not just making what I think is important, but then you guys would have preferred me to do something else. So please let me know. Is there any other question before we end the live? So that somebody's daughter will go and rest. Is there any questions? Do you guys have any other question? So that somebody's child will rest. Who is joining by this time? Welcome, latecomer. Latecomer Revel. I hope I pronounced your name well. Please, you're welcome. Oh, somebody said, TMT, you said, the chat. Strike is a way of life here in Nigeria. We aren't like now. Yeah, do you know, it's funny because I try to ask questions sometimes. It's hard for you to find someone that's schooled in Nigeria, actually in a federal and government school, federal and state school that did not experience strike. till they graduate. It's hard. Do the statistic is really hard, which is really sad. Yeah, Revel, you're welcome. Do you have any question for us? I think.
Yeah, I have a question.
All right, please tell us where you're watching from before you ask. Thank you.
I'm Nigerian. I'm from Nigeria, Ondo State.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah. Can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Last week Monday, was it last week Monday? Or yeah, I forgot things easily. Sorry. I went for my visa interview and I failed. I failed. Yeah. I was given a letter back home. And the thing is that I don't know how good or like this space I can reapply. I need a time. I'm trying to contact my DSO for the school I applied for. He has not got in touch. But
Immediately. Sorry, I'm cutting you short. Apply immediately, like as you even coming out of the embassy, just carry laptop and apply again. Immediately. You don't even need to waste.
yes, the thing was that I read it on their website was that what's on the airport. The thing is that I read on the airport that on the website that they recommend you give like at least 2 to 3 months, but I'm not comfortable with that to show the consular officer that your situation has changed. Then when I was I was in a space with this same Zoom meeting with US Education USA on the Zoom meeting. I think it was this week. They said we should they said the same thing, that we should give it about 3 months. Then they said we should not use the same semester and the same, like, you understand what I'm trying to say? The same semester and the same profile. If our profile is still the same, that they want to see some changes, things like that.
Maybe it's a new development I'm not aware of. Because I know usually, even Education USA that you talk about, I went through Education USA. Even the day I went, there was a guy that went with me. He got denied. We got into Education USA. He sat down and he applied immediately. So I think probably it's a new development that you have to. I've never heard of it before. I usually people just apply immediately. So maybe it's something new that they bring out rules every time. So when are you supposed to resume?
My start date was January 3. I got there, we planned everything. I was so devastated when I was. She just came to me like, "I'm sorry, we cannot give you a visa. I will give you a letter and explain why." Yeah, so my start date was January 3rd. Then I was not planning to leave maybe around December 15th or December 30th, just to settle in.
Do you have full funding?
Yes. My sponsor is very rich, and I was going to go to my sponsor is very rich, and I was going to go to the Spain with him. Yeah, I don't even have to wait.
Try to understand. You don't have full funding, but you have a sponsor.
No. I have full funding. The school fees is cheap. It's about $11,000.
Okay, you have. When I mean full funding, I mean you have scholarship.
No, I don't have scholarship. I don't have scholarship.
That's what I meant by full funding. Okay, you don't have a scholarship. Okay. If you have a scholarship, then I'll be a little bit concerned just in case, so the school will not tell you that they can't defer it. So yeah, honestly, before you know what you said, that's why I really wanted to discuss with people. I always advise you apply immediately. But since your own case, I'm telling you not to apply immediately, maybe you have to email your school to allow you do 4 semesters. Yeah. No, it's really what?
I'll do that.
I know it's really sad, especially if you already plan yourself by December, I'm out of this place, and by January, I'm starting school. So it can be really devastating if things they don't work out the way you planned it. Yeah, but one thing I always tell people is that when you're applying to study abroad, just know that There is a possibility it might not work on your first trial and you will have to try again. So make sure you're not putting in as much as if you're someone that believes in God, in as much as you're trusting God to do it, just make sure you're not putting all your mind. You have other things that you're doing. So if it doesn't work, you try again next year, but just don't give up. They used to say, how they say it in PG, now who quits lose or something like that. Anyway, so what?
Now give up, fuck up.
No, I don't want to use that. Okay. Not who give up, whatever. Yeah, so don't give up. I know people that had to apply next year and like, everything went smoothly. But your own case, you already have admission. So yeah, if you can just defer the semester.
The thing is that I almost gave up because I sacrificed a lot. I didn't go to school. I school at Harvard. So I didn't even go to school since July. It came on July, since then I've been trying to sort something out. I got it sorted. Just the last of the week was interview. I cannot. I was
No,
everything.
do not give up. Do not give up at all. I know people here that went for visa interview 5 times, like currently here in the US, doing amazingly well. They went for visa interview 5 times before they got it approved. And here they are here. The one thing I believe in life is that it's not about how fast you do it or how quick you do it, it's how well you do it. So you might apply for something and you get it now, or me, I'll apply next 5 years or next 1 year, next year I will get it. And we'll still live our different life. I'll be very fulfilled and successful. So yeah, don't give up. You really, really know that you want to study here. Don't give up. Just if they tell you not to apply now, then just hold on. Just make sure you email your school and tell them what happened, and then ask if you can defer your admission to next semester. If they agree, then you can send you a different I-20 that you will use. Yeah, don't give up. Thanks for asking the question. All right, wait a minute.
I'd like to.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, let's say maybe for instance, currently maybe the job or work you are doing isn't related to maybe the program you studied during your undergrad. During your visa interview, does that really, play a role in there? Is it going to affect you or not? If you really get what I'm saying, maybe, yeah, currently you're done with school, maybe undergrad, maybe you did nutrition, but currently maybe you're doing a different job in maybe business or something. Does that really affect your interview?
So I would say no. And also, I would say no. The thing is, have a reason. One thing about this visa interviews is have what to say. Tell them why when you finish nutrition. So when you finish nutrition, why you had to start doing whatever you're doing now, and then why you go back to do a master's or a PhD in related to nutrition. Just have a story. They just want to hear you tell. Of course, whatever you're saying now is the story of many people. A lot of people do what they studied in their undergrad, but they still a master's or PhD. Just tell them, okay, undergraduate, I studied nutrition, but when I came out, because of maybe the situation of the country or job market, I could not get a job in nutrition. So I'm doing business to make ends meet. But because my passion is nutrition, now I want to go back and do a master's because I know if I have a master's, I will stand a better ground of being employed. You get what I'm saying, right? Just something a way that even when somebody hears, they'll be like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Trust me, you will not be the first person or the only person that I've shared that kind of story with them. So no, I shouldn't be. At least if you don't have something you are doing, it's not like you were staying at home not doing anything.
Yeah. And also, how long does it take to, hear back from the school after maybe putting you in your application and all of that? I know it differs from, school to school, program to program, but how long does it really take? Do you really hear from them after the deadline or something like that?
Of course, it have to be after their deadline, even after the deadline to be sometime like, I know like when I applied, my own deadlines were in December or January, mid-January. And some schools actually would maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, while some school reach 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So it depends on the school. But the good thing about it is that whether you're admitted or you're not admitted, you will hear from them.
Okay.
So it's not like you just be lost, or I don't know if whether they give you or don't give you, they'll send everybody email to say congratulations or to say unfortunately. So don't worry.
Okay.
The thing is, you definitely will hear from them and still have enough time to plan yourself and travel, because they know you are international, so you need time to process. So they put all those things in consideration, like the current school, my school here, I know I heard back from them mid-February. I was mid-February that I heard from them. Then there was one school I heard earlier before mid-February. That one gave me admission, but did not give me funding. So of course I canceled them. But this particular one I heard from them mid-February. So if I heard from them in February, I had March, April, May, June, July, almost like 6 months, 5 to 6 months to come over. That's enough time to do everything, get your visa, do all those things. Yeah, so you definitely hear.
And also, does the admission decision comes with the funding offer, or it comes separately? Maybe admission comes first, then later on you get a funding decision or something.
Yeah, so if you applied, most schools, it will come the same letter. So the letter will tell you, congratulations, we are pleased to inform you after blah, 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 considering your application, you've been offered admission, and as a teacher, and also you've been offered maybe a teaching assistant or a research or a graduate assistant position. And in this position, you pay this amount of stipend. They will tell you everything in one letter. But then if it is schools, there are very few schools that I've heard of that would want you to, that would want you to apply for financial aid separately. So that is why when you're applying, you should check the website and see how their funding works. So some schools will tell you all PhD students are fully funded. So that one, you know that once you apply, you're getting funding. While some will say master students are maybe 50% funded or fully funded, or could be how many percent funded. So their website will tell you. So when you get the offer letter, it will show in there. But if the offer letter comes and it's just admission, they should also tell you that if you think you qualify for funding, then maybe fill this particular form. Most schools don't do that, but some schools do that. They will tell you if you qualify for so funding, fill this form or do this one or do that one. But most time, as I've seen, it's always come in the same letter.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All the best.
Thank you.
So the next question on YouTube says, some schools are applying to require an official transcript Some schools I am applying to requires an official transcript evaluation. Do you think I can apply for it to be waived? You cannot apply for it to be waived. I don't encourage people to apply for it. So if a school, so what official transcript evaluation means is, hold on. Evaluation, is it official transcript evaluation? Do you guys know? Let me be sure I'm answering the right thing. I thought the person meant some schools require you to send the official transcript. I don't know if that's what the person is saying. I hope it's not like the way you do WES evaluation. Is that what they're saying? If they're talking about evaluating, yeah, if it's like doing WES evaluation, maybe, okay, that's different. I think it's evaluation they're talking about. So if that's the case and you want to ask if it can be waived, feel free and email them. There's no harm in sending an email to ask if you can have the transcript evaluation waived. Feel free and email them to ask. I don't know if they will agree or not, but by all means, one thing about these schools here, they have people who their job is to make sure they admit students. So they're always happy when you send them emails and they will definitely respond. So utilize them very well. Whatever question you have, feel free to send them. Whatever you're confused about, whatever you're not sure of, send them emails to ask. So yeah, Chiamaka, Ezema, please send an email to us if you can. if they can have it waived. Then the next question says, oh, it's not a question. Thank you so much for your informative response so far. Thank you for joining. I'm glad to help. My goal with this channel is to encourage as many people as I can to pursue their goals of studying abroad. So I'm always happy to do things like this, even though this is the first Zoom meeting we did, but we've done a lot of live videos on YouTube. But this time I wanted people to have opportunity to talk, since YouTube has now created the opportunity for us to have people come on and talk. All right, guys, if there's no other question, I have to end the video here. We've done 1 hour, 30 minutes of talking. That is awesome. So thank you so much for those that joined. Oh, cool. Okay. Hi.
sorry. Okay. I think I watched one of your videos some times ago, and you made reference to you contacting a friend before you got there. I can't remember very well. It has been a while though. Like you said, you had huge box, you could not just get a pizza, stuff like that. I don't even remember very well that video.
Wait.
Okay. What did you say? You said the video, in that video, you said you contacted a friend before you got to the States that you had to get a pizza, but they were not having small change, stuff like that.
Yes.
You remember? Like you were advising we to get smaller box before coming over.
Yes.
Okay, now my question is there a special site we can contact colleagues in the school?
Okay.
Or how exactly?
Okay, that's a very good question. So for me, the person you are calling a friend, even though she's my friend now, she wasn't a friend then. I didn't know who she was. So I didn't know who she was. I did not know anybody before I came here, although now we are friends. So how I got to know her, which answers your question, is when I got admission, I knew it was certain that I was going to come to this particular school. My next question is, of course, I would love to know somebody. I would love to meet with people. And being that the way my accommodation that I got here was set up, I need a place to stay for 1 night before I'll get my accommodation, because I'll arrive. I think I was going to arrive towards evening, and by that towards evening, the office in charge of my accommodation, they've closed. So I made it such a way that if I arrive today, my accommodation will start tomorrow, which means I need a place to sleep that night. Excuse me. I need a place to sleep that night. So I started saying, okay, I checked hotels. Hotels were really expensive. And I was like, I'm coming here. I'm going to spend some time here, like a month, before I start receiving stipend as a PhD student. So I'm now about to start spending big money on hotel. So where to stay? One way of doing that is ask your program coordinator or whoever it is that you've been in contact with during your application process, because when you get the admission, there's somebody you'll be emailing, there's somebody that'll be telling you about the documents to submit, there's somebody that'll be telling you next steps to do. They call them program. Who are all these people joining by this time? Lord have mercy. Somebody's name is Lucifer. Lord have mercy. Okay. So there's definitely, hold on guys. There's definitely someone you've been in contact with. So first of all, ask that person if there is a platform that you can use to meet other students, number one. Number two, which was what I did. I did number one. Actually, I didn't ask the coordinator for a platform to meet students. I asked her if there was anyone she can connect me with. But before I did that, what I did was I went on my school. All these schools, they are on Facebook. Some of them are on Instagram, some of them on Twitter. So what was what I did was I went to my school Facebook page, and then I started looking at the people following them. My goal was, let me see if there's a Black person, someone that looks like me, at least for a start. I don't want to talk to other race because they might not welcome the idea. I don't know them. At least if I see a Nigerian, the person will be able to relate to my situation. So I just went on their Facebook. I took my time. I was searching their followers. That's how I saw only one person with an Igbo name. I'm an Igbo girl. I saw one person with a Nigerian, and it also happened to be an Igbo person. I'm like, awesome. So that's how I messaged her. So the person I mentioned in my video, she wasn't my friend then, even took a lot to respond to me. It took her like more than 2 weeks to answer me. So yeah, I messaged her and then she responded. So but now, of course, we are very good friends. So someone just said LinkedIn. LinkedIn is also good. Yes, go on LinkedIn, just type students, people from that university. You see a lot of students there, you message them. They don't have to be from your country. In my own case, that was what I did. But in your own case, they don't have to be from your country. Just message whoever you think you would like to connect with and connect. Also, some schools have international student page. Like my school, they have international student Facebook page. I did not know then. If I had known, I would just go there straight and meet people. I didn't know about it. And also some schools or some program, they have WhatsApp or WeChat, depending on what country you're coming from, for international students or newly admitted students. So just ask your program coordinator, because I've heard people that tell me, oh, I know this girl, we met on no, someone told me his current roommate, not now, then, his roommate, they met, they are both Nigerians, but they did not know themselves, but they met themselves on the school WhatsApp chat for international students or newly admitted students, something like that, when they were still in Nigeria. So they connected with each other and tried to get a room together. So they both got a room here before they even came to the US. So yeah, so just ask your program coordinator for platforms like that. Just like Gladys said, LinkedIn is also a very good place to meet people. Yeah, not everyone is going to have somebody in their school. I did not know one single person before I came. But yeah, those are some of the ways of knowing people. So one question from YouTube. Someone says, how much money should I have to show in bank statement yearly? How much money should I have to show in bank statement yearly? It is 20,000. I'm not sure what you're asking, or if you're just saying how much money do you need to show. So I've made a video about something like this. The title of the video is how to show proof of funding. It's on my channel. So Kayamo Shitaye, please check my YouTube for the video on how to show proof of funding. I always see that whatever your tuition fee or whatever you expect to pay, make sure you have more than that. I've forgotten the percentage. You have more than that on the bank statement that you're showing. So please watch that video to really guide you on how to show proof of fund. All right, for those that just joined now, somebody join Morningstar. Morningstar, do you have any question or any comments before we end this video? I don't know if you can hear me. If you have any question, you just joined us, you can put it in the chat box if you don't want to talk. If you want to talk, please unmute yourself and talk. All right. TMT, I hope yes. Okay.
Yeah, sure. You've answered. Okay, second question. Someone going to school over there, the first few weeks getting there, how much should one have coming over? Like roughly an average amount. Now we don't know the cost of living over there, unlike Nigeria now. If you are in another country coming to Nigeria, you should know that okay, settling down in Nigeria should have at least about 20 to 50,000 naira at least to buy food with the cost of living over here presently now. So coming over there now, how much should one have, roughly how much at hand?
Okay, that's another good question. So living costs differs from state to state, from city to city. For instance, I might be in a city where I pay rent. For instance, where I currently live, my rent is we are two living in the room, in the apartment, not room. I have my own room. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and my current rent is $1,230 every month. So that's me, I pay $615 every month. Now that's what I pay, but there are people in other schools, other places that their rent is $350. There are people, there's someone that I know, his rent is only him $1,300. So it depends on the city you are going to. Cost of living differs from city to city. So to answer that question, what you do, number one, you can check your I-20. So usually I-20, they'll put an average cost of living or something like that, living expenses, I think that's what they call it there. Then you can divide that for 1 month and you will know what 1 month is. Or number 2, you can just check online, average cost of living for students in so and so area in Alabama, it will tell you. So, but the main thing is have enough money to pay your rent, have enough money to, I think, yeah, just check the cost of living in the particular city you're going to. For me, when I was coming, and since when I was coming, and also here in the US, if you're moving to a new place, you pay rent and you pay deposit fee. Deposit fee is usually 1 month rent. So if my rent is $1,000, the first time I'm moving in, I'll pay $2,000, or some people will tell you to pay 1,500. So they will hold that 5,000 or that 1,000 as deposit fee. So you just calculate all those things. How much is your rent? How much is deposit fee? And then security deposit fee, that's what it's called. And then you add that together, and then you have extra for you to feed yourself, depending on if you're very sure you're going to start being paid the next month, or you're going to get a job the next month, then, or immediately you get there. Yeah, so TMT, to answer your question, just check the cost of living there. They will give you a monthly, just check on Google, you see, they'll give you the monthly breakdown. Then you make sure you, depend on how long you think you're going to stay before you start earning money. Like in my own case, they told me to resume in August, but then school will start in September, and I was going to start getting paid in September. So I needed to take care of myself for 1 month before. So what I did I came with enough money to pay my rent, pay my security deposit for that 1 month, and then to maybe buy SIM card, buy small things, and also take care of myself. And of course, you just came, you're not going to start living lavishly when you just came. You're still trying to get used to where you are. So mostly your expenses will be buying food, buying house things, especially if your house, the house you move into is unfurnished. So here in the US, you can get a furnished or unfurnished apartment. So for me, because I knew that I didn't have any friend, I didn't have anybody that would direct me once I get here. So what I did was to get a furnished apartment. So once I move in, I know I'm not worrying myself with buying bed or spending money. I already have all those things in my apartment. All I needed was food, and maybe to buy pots or buy things like that to cook. So yeah, just check the cost of living online. You will see, and you check your pocket, what works for you. So I think I have a question on Zoom chat. It says, how long does it take to schedule a visa interview in Nigeria? How long does it take? It depends on what's available at that time. So immediately you apply, you can pick a date if you see an available date. If there's not available dates, that's when you now start thinking of doing emergency visa. So there's no exact time of how long it takes. It just depends on what is available at the time. The next question, can you do a video on major things necessary to bring over to the US and things that are not important? I think I've made a video. On that, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go to my channel. I think sometime last year. Sorry, guys. Sometime last year I made, okay, you can, so for those of you that are watching, please check my channel for videos. If you are coming here to do a PhD, I have this very nice video on advice for new, not from PhD, if you're coming here to do a master's and a PhD, I have this video that is titled Advice for New Masters and PhD Students. It has part 1 and part 2. That video is really, 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 really important. I say this because, most of the things, actually all of the things that we see in those videos are things I had to learn the hard way. I did not know about these things before I came to the US and started my program. Probably if I knew about them, it would have made my life easier. So make sure to watch those videos. And it's not just me talking. I got my friends that are from different universities. There's someone from Stanford University. There's someone from University of, I think, California. There's someone from Knoxville, Kentucky. They're different. Kentucky, Tennessee, something like that. So please make sure to watch that video. Then for the question you asked, I made a video of moving to the US after getting your F1 visa, things you need to know and do. Yes, so I think that answers your question. Please make sure to watch that video, moving to the US after getting US F1 student visa. I also made a video on challenges of studying abroad, where I wanted to use the opportunity to tell people what it's like, so your mind is prepared before coming, so you not experience so much shock like I did. Not so much, but I also made a video on why you shouldn't do a PhD. This is a very interesting, one of my best videos, and that's because a lot of people have different and wrong reasons why they decide to apply for a PhD program, and then when they start, they realize they can't do it because they came with the wrong reason. So I wanted people to know the reasons why they should or should not do a PhD. I also made a video on yeah, things like that. But yeah, I think I can still make a new video on what you said, just in case if that one is not enough. Let me take a note it down. So guys, for those of you that just joined, if there's any particular video that you would like me to make, I said it earlier that I have contents to make, even though I've not had enough time to do them because I'll be super busy with schoolwork, but I can still make them. Just tell me an idea of video that you want me to make, so that I make sure that the video I'm doing is what you guys want to watch and not what I think you guys want to watch. So major things to bring to the US and things not. Okay. Then number 2, okay, so what are the major challenge and risks maybe racism international students face? Racism, it depends on where you are. It depends on the location you are. It depends on your mindset. I say that because mindset is, if someone like me, I came with the mindset that I know racism exists, but I don't care about it. So when I say I don't care about it, it means if you care so much about racism, somebody might do something that is normal, and you say, oh, they are being racist about me. They are being racist about me, but they're racist or something like that. It's just your mind, right? But if you have an open mind, when they do something, you might just realize, oh, this person just made a mistake. So for racism is something that is definitely existing and always, and let me not say always, but will continue to exist, and also differs from where you are. Some places are just normal, some places are not. So, but I always tell people, just be open-minded. Be open-minded. Just see yourself as a very normal person. When I came here, like I said before, most of my classes, I was the only Black person in the class, not the only Black girl, the only Black person. So each time I walk into a class, and I'm very dark. I don't know if you guys can just, if it's obvious on my videos, see my skin, I'm not a light-skinned person at all. I'm a very dark person. So you're laughing at me. I'm a very dark-skinned person. So imagine being a classroom that not only are you very dark, you are the only dark person. So some people in that kind of situation will be feeling shy or be feeling bad. For me, I saw it as an amazing opportunity. It means I'm a star. It means that when I walk in, you will know that I've walked in. It means that when I step into, to me, it wasn't a bad thing, even though I wished I had other Black people because I now would relate more. I envy my friends that in their class, they have Nigerians, they have Ghanaians. You see them, okay, this is my friend, they're from Cameroon. I'm like, I don't have those kind of friends here. Actually, in my school, we don't have a lot of Black people. But I refuse to dwell on it. I refuse to feel bad that I didn't have other Black people. For me, I saw it as an opportunity to even stand out, like this kind. If I step in, you people know that I've stepped in, and I never felt bad about it, even though it was weird sometimes. Somebody would come and meet you. Oh my God, your hair. How did you make this? I'm like, bro. Anyways, my point is, it's all about your mindset. Just make sure you keep an open mind. After you left your country to come to a different country, so you shouldn't expect to have everybody looking like you or to have people looking like you. You should actually be happy when you find yourself in a classroom where you don't have people like you. All right. I'll quickly look at the other. Okay, you talk about the major challenges. Challenges will differ. Some people, challenges, wait, hold on, please. So Somebody, like I said, challenges differ. Some people, the challenge they will face is cultural shock. Some people would miss their family. All of a sudden you're finding yourself in a place where you come back, there's nobody to talk to you. You don't even know your neighbor. Some people will be depressed. Some people will be overwhelmed with the school system. It's not what you're used to. You're not used to the stress. Some people will be overwhelmed with the fact that maybe you find yourself in a class, nobody's talking to you, people don't want to be friends with you because you are not from their country or things like that. But for me, I never had that kind of mindset. So it all depends on you. The only challenge, the major challenge I would say I had when I started, of course I've had other challenges along the way, but the challenge I would say I had when I started was the intensity of the work, the intensity of the kind of the classes, of the homeworks. I remember that, see now this Saturday, I'm comfortable in my room making videos. Then you don't see me in my apartment. I leave my apartment every morning before 8 o'clock and I'm coming back by midnight because after classes, I've been spending time in the library trying to get my homework done. So for me, that was the challenge, not getting enough sleep. But it was just that first semester though. It gets better with time because with time you get used to it. So it was new to me having to be doing homework every day, reading every day. So I think that was my major challenge, but I scaled through. So if your mind is, and it's different for every course, it's not because it was difficult for me, doesn't mean to be difficult for every other person. All right, I'll try to answer that question. Oh, excuse me. Someone says, you can do some moving vlogs too. What do you mean by moving? Like moving, I'm not moving to anywhere. Please clarify that. Someone says OPT and HB1. So yeah, OPT and HB1. So those kind of videos, I will make them when I get to that position. So I've not gotten to the point of doing those kind of things. So in my channel, unless I'll look for someone that have done it. Yeah, I think I'll look for someone. Invite a guest. So I try to make videos based on what I know and what I've experienced, and then also maybe invite other people. So I've not done OPT, I've only done CPT. I've not done OPT, I've not graduated yet, so I've not done HB1. But Gladys, thank you for recommending. I've written down on my notes. Definitely with time, that kind of video will be on my channel. Someone said I will really make use of a motivational video. I don't know why this is funny. I think it's a crying emoji. You want me to drop motivational quotes? I tried doing motivational video when I started my channel. It was part of what I wanted to do in my channel, but nobody watched it. I just went back to myself. I said motivational speaker, who sent you? Anyways, I'll do motivational video on being an international student, being an international student. Thank you. That's actually a very good video. International students in the US. I'll do it. Please make sure to turn on your notification bell. Okay, let's just say I really don't have the passion for it anymore since I got denied. My dear, I don't know where you're from. Revel, are you from Nigeria? They say if you're from, sorry for my non-Nigerians, Gladys and Co. I know you guys are not Nigerians. I'm just talking because I'm in Nigeria. So in Nigeria, there's something they say, Nigeria no they carry last. Nigeria no they carry last. It means we don't quit. No matter how. What?
I'm from Nigeria. I was the one that spoke earlier.
You're from Nigeria no they carry last. No matter how difficult it is, you keep going. Now who quit lose? Don't give. There are people that applied 5 times. So don't give. So Gladys said, ways international student can transition from F1 to HB1. Ways, definitely, that's a very good video. I will make it sometime next year, or if I find someone, or when it's my turn. Ways international student, ways to transition from F1 to HB1. Yes, I'll do that because international students struggle getting jobs after school. Yes. Thank you, Gladys. That's a very good video. I definitely, so my channel, like I said, no, I've not been making videos, but whatever I've made, like whatever video I make, most times, yeah, unless I invite someone, But if I don't invite anyone, there are things that I've like researched on or I have experienced, but I prefer to make videos on what I've experienced, because if then people come with questions and they're asking me questions, then I know how to give first-hand answers, or not the one that they'll ask me. I have to start going looking for answers. For instance, some of the videos I make where I invite people, most times when people drop questions, because I can't be contacting those people every time, I find it hard to answer. For instance, if someone wants to study in France or Germany, I have those videos, but I can't really give them really good answers because I've not experienced, and I can't, maybe it's not something I can easily get on Google. Anyways, but thank you for the recommendation. I've written it down. It's definitely a video I have on my mind I will make, but I just have not made it because I've not transitioned. Okay, so someone's saying you can also make video on graduate school interview questions and answer. Is this for a visa, or is it just Bernard? Is this for a visa, or is it for getting advisor? Please let me know. Bernard, is it still here? Yes, graduate school interview. Is this for a visa? If it's for a visa, I already have the video on my channel. Please let me know. The next question says, what role does social media handles acts in the DS60 form play in the interview process? To be honest, Gladys, I don't know. But what I recommend is, at least what I do is, if I want to put that, I put my LinkedIn, because I know that one's a professional website where I post professional things. So I'm not sure what role it plays. Maybe they just want to look you up and get to see who you are, Gladys. But if you want to put things that you know are professional, and aside professional, that's why it's also good that you, as a person, you're very careful what you post on social media, whether it's for admission or in general. Just be very careful the kind of things you post on social media. So Bernard said, yeah, for admission. Okay. During admission, I didn't do any graduate school interview, but I'll see if I'll find anyone that did this. I'll see if I'll find anyone that did interview before they got their question. They got the admission. Yeah, we'll look for it. All right, thank you. So guys, this is 2 hours already. Jeez, I can't believe I've been talking for 2 hours. I'll quickly check if there is any question on YouTube. If there is no question on YouTube and there's no more question on here, we will end the live. Let me see if there's a question on YouTube. Let me see. Wow, okay, there are questions. Jesus is Lord. All right, quickly, I have graduated last year and I got admitted into community college in spring 2023. And does my degree affect for visa, or should I have to say I don't learn? I don't understand this question. Does your degree affect for visa, or should you say you don't learn? I don't know what that means. And yes, your degree should not affect your visa. The next question said, okay, the same question. Does my bachelor's degree affect my visa, or should I say I didn't learn any degree because of some reason? I don't know if you guys got the question. The person says, does their bachelor's degree affect the chance of them getting visa, or should they say they didn't learn any degree because of some reason? How will you be applying for a master's or a PhD? You say you did not have any degree. This is a funny question. All right. Revel, say thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, Revel. Thank you for joining. Thank you. This TMT says, at least how many months to expiration should your passport be before traveling? At least 6 months. At least 6 months, Revel. TMT. Your passport should be at least 6 months. At least before you, when you apply for your visa, at least 6 months expiration. But if you get the visa and it's less than 6 months, you already have your visa, so it's not a problem. You can still travel. But before going for your visa, they always request that you have your passport at least 6 months before expiration. Number 2, 1 year or 2 years after you have gotten to the state and your passport gets expired, does it have any effect? Nope. As long as your I-20 is valid, you are good. Even your visa, even if your visa expires or your passport expires, as long as your I-20 is valid, it's good. But don't allow your passport expire for so long. Like in my own case, I just renewed my passport and I made a video on that, on how to renew your passport here in the US. So you can watch that video and know how to do it. Usually even the passport, they'll recommend you apply for renewing your passport at least 6 months before expiration too, so that you have enough time just in case if they delay. The next one says, how quick should one renew the passport when you are there? Yeah, that's what I just answered. Because I learned Nigerian embassy over there is somehow annoying. Yes, it's true, but I was just lucky in the sense that things are kind of better when I went. So I think my own passport, I received it, the new one, within 2 months, but before it takes way more than 2 months. So once you get here and you know your passport is already at least 6 months before it expire, just go and apply so that you still have your passport. You can still travel while you wait for the new one to get to you. So 6 months. All right, guys, this is a good time to stop. This is exactly 2 minutes to 4, and this live will be ending in the next 2 minutes. Thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate everyone that joined. Thank you guys so much. Whatever stage you are in, I wish you all the best. If you are still applying, I pray and I hope that your admission come out successful. If you've gone for visa interview, I pray you have the strength and the motivation to apply again. If you're yet to go for your interview, I wish you all the best. Watch my videos, prepare well, and you'll be fine. And I always look forward to hearing your testimony. So please, when you get your visa, you get your admission, whatever you get, please come back and let me know. I like to celebrate with people. I like to know that what I'm taking my time. Nobody's paying me, but I appreciate it. If you guys like my videos, if you share it, if there's a thank you, a thanks icon, if you want to donate anything, I don't know, whatever way you want to share appreciation, I appreciate that, but I'm not charging anybody. I'm not getting paid. I just love to help people. So yeah, I love to, what makes me feel satisfied is when I hear back from you guys that you got admission or you got scholarship. So please always come back to let me know how everything went. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys when I make a new video or when we go live around that time. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, everyone. I'm going to end the live now.
Bye.